For better or worse, 6 Tanglewood Drive will never be the same. Let's take a look at the changes. So here we are at the new 6 Tanglewood Drive. Firstly, we have a slightly bigger yard, I believe, with the fences removed. There is no glitching on the lighting on this fence now. We still have the main window to what was the boys' bedroom, and the garage doors are slightly different that may be able to see in a little bit. You can see a little bit in there, not enough to spot the ghost though. Those ugly troughs have been removed and replaced with slightly less ugly gardening spot. There's more plants in the entrance as well, and we have a new friend. But apart from that, the yard looks very similar, but the neighbourhood has changed. There used to be 2 or 3 story houses around, but now they all seem to be in a similar style to this one, which makes more sense for neighbourhoods like this. Bless this home. Somebody didn't do a very good job at that, did they? So, the first thing you notice, apart from these lovely plants, is that the door handle is on the other side, so the door opens the opposite way now. It's going to take a bit of getting used to, especially for me, being stuck in my ways. But so the plants make a noise, I didn't notice that before. As we enter, we'll see the vibe of the place has changed a lot, but I'm all for it. It's got a granny core kind of situation going on. The light switch has moved. You used to have a table lamp on here, but now the main one is here. And I think if I take my torch off, it lights it up a little bit better. There's less harsh dark spots. And the other light is just behind here, which again lights this section up a lot better. But when the lights are off, everything appears a lot darker. I have got it set to morning, and it's still, you can navigate by the windows, but it appears to be a lot darker. But we won't spoil what's happening up ahead yet. We'll pop these back on. Already going for the light switch in the wrong place. First things you notice is the car key's still here, but the room feels a lot wider. I think overall they've scaled up the size of the house just so it's a little bit less cramped. We still have hiding spots, but that one in particular has moved. And a good new feature, when you're hiding, you can now see through the slats, which is just such a good change, that is. I'm hoping they do it to all maps. They could even change the doors out before they do the reworks of the other places, just so they match. That would be a good change. But we have a crucifix, so something else a ghost can interact with, and you get unique video footage if you catch it happening. We've still got the mirror in the same place, and access to the master bedroom, boys' room, bathroom, and the nursery. But we'll take a look at those rooms separately. We have a phone that can be interacted with July 26 written on it. Is that a spoiler? Maybe? We'll never know. Well, not until July anyway. And we have a copy of the Onto Herald, talking about the high score there. We also have the same hiding spot before. So for this demonstration, I have got all hiding spots unlocked, so we can find them all. But a big change is that they now appear locked. You get the lock icon if you can't get in them, instead of having something in them to block you physically, which I'm not sure about, but you only get to know if it's good or bad if you play the game quite a bit. So we'll reserve judgment on that one. Right, let's move on to the next room. So this is what used to be the boys' bedroom. Let's go in and take a look at what they've changed in here. So light switch in the same place. It's no longer blue, and it's no longer a bedroom. But the extra bit that you can do now is just go around the corner here. This is a semi, we'll call it a semi hiding spot, because if the ghost comes all the way in, obviously if you haven't got a smudge you will be toast. But we have the closet, the same as in the boys' bedroom, and a lovely puzzle. It's a shame we can't complete it. I can see that piece goes just there. Anyway, there's plenty of things for the ghost to throw around in here. Semi-functional record player. Yep. So if you hear that go off, you know where the ghost is, which is quite handy. There are other items around the map that have like distinctive sounds to them, so we know where the ghost is, which is very handy in some situations when you can't find the ghost. But yeah, this is a new boy's bedroom. Or the puzzle room now. Okay, let's move on to the next room. And here's the bathroom. A lot more spacious than previously. We have expanded all of the house a little bit, I believe. Or at least it feels like that, with maybe this different size models within the room, but it does feel a lot more spacious. The mirror is similar to the one in the hallway. They haven't really done reflections on it. Maybe that will come with the character animation update that's on the roadmap as well. Once we'll be able to see the character, they might turn the reflections on, so to speak. Yeah, not much more to say about this, but it is a lot bigger and fits with the granny vibe of this place. No, let's go to the next room. And this is a nursery. So the child looks like it's grown up a bit. It's no longer got a cot. It's got a bed instead. And a little doll's house, which can be turned on. Whoa. Wow, I didn't know that could do that. So I played this map a couple of times and it's always laid down. So that that got me then. But yeah, so this is a nursery. If anything, this feels a little bit shorter. I'm not sure. I haven't got my measuring tape on me, so we will just have to go by feel here. But it does feel a little bit shorter to me. Here you'll see the voodoo doll, which is no longer in the garage. It is now in the nursery, which I suppose it fits a bit better. I don't keep many dolls in my garage. Plenty of books and things for them to throw around. We've got the blocks like in the old nursery, but a lot smaller now. Now in here, we've got this hiding spot. Again, it's a bit like in the puzzle room. It's a semi-hiding spot, because if the ghost walks up here, it's obviously going to spot you. But there is also another one here as a last-ditch attempt at escaping if you haven't got any smudges on you. And a creepy levitating doll. I think we'll leave the doll to it and go and look at the next room. The master bedroom. First thing you'll notice is more space again. So apart from the nursery, so far they all feel slightly bigger. There's evidence of a pet dog. We have the same crucifixes in the hallway and in Sunny Meadows, so this will spin if the ghost interacts with it, getting you a unique video. Another candle that we should try. Bear with me, I'm just going to get a firelight to see if we can actually light these. So I'm not expecting this to work, but for science, you must try. No, it doesn't. So that's a shame, but I suppose it takes away from what equipment you've got in your truck. So you wouldn't need firelight if you had these ones. Excuse me. Thank you. Let's go and look in the ensuite bathroom. And this is a big addition. Because previously, if you were in this room when the ghost spawned, if it started hunting anywhere out here, you wouldn't be able to have a hiding space apart from maybe hiding behind a door, which is never a good idea. So now we've got an official hiding spot. If you play with hiding spots unlocked, obviously. Apart from that, again, it just feels slightly bigger. We've got more things for it to interact with, so we know where the ghost is, and another black mirror. So next to the ensuite is a little closet, which is pretty much the same, apart from someone's been robbed. You can't get in this closet as far as the other one, I don't think. I think this is a little bit shallower. But this is where you'll find the music box now. So it's moved from the nursery on the old map to just here. So that's it for the master bedroom. Let's move on to the next room. So next on our little tour is the living room. The light switch is now moved. So this is going to be another one where I keep going to the wrong place. But now it is round this corner just here. And here is a lovely little living room. Very, I'd say, 70s, 80s furniture. Fits with the granny vibe quite well. Or granddad vibe. Or both. We have a VHS player, which does make a sound. So this is another one of those things that I said you would be able to listen out for to figure out where the ghost is. We have another phone with the same date written on it. July 26. So not long now. And obviously we've still got horrible static from the telly. But the VHS doesn't do anything for it, which is a shame. They could have done a family video or something on there. There's a little Easter egg. And the tarot cards are still on this table here. So similar place, they were just over there last time. But apart from that, very similar layout, just updated with a bit of a granny touch and a dog bed. And out this window we no longer have a solitary chair and a swimming pool. We have a little patio set. And that's it for the living room. Let's move on to the next one. So this is the dining room. Starts just here at this border of the carpet and goes over to the left. You'll see that the two doors are still there from same as the previous layout. But the biggest change is that the island in the kitchen has been removed. But you'll be glad to know that it has been replaced. This is now a fully functioning hiding spot. Even though it doesn't look like it, you can hide here and the ghost cannot see you if it walks past there. So this is actually still a looping spot. But you have to be a little bit careful because you can get caught up on these chairs. And it's a little bit shorter, so the ghost can double back if you're not paying attention or going at the right speed. So just be careful of that. As you'll see, we no longer have the cabinet that can contain the monkey paw. So there are no cursed objects in this room. We can get another look at the patio set in the back garden here. So this is the dining room. Let's head across the hall to the kitchen over there. This is the kitchen. This is one of the biggest changes of the map, removing the island. It does feel a little bit shallower. I'm just not sure if it's because of that. And obviously the removal of the island. So someone hasn't done the pots, but we can interact with quite a few things on here. which again means you can tell where the ghost is quite easily. I know a lot of people were worried that the potato was going to be moved. It is still here, creepily hanging out in the cupboard. Baked potato, anyone? So all these cupboards are interactable, so more things for the ghost to touch. But the looping spot has been replaced there, but there's also been an additional one added. So I think we should go and take a look at that next. The basement. Previously you used to be able to get trapped down here. If the ghost spawned up here, you had nowhere to go, and if that hiding spot in the old place was blocked, you couldn't survive unless you had a smudge. Or lucky that if the ghost didn't come down all the way. But yeah, now this is a little bit more open. The first thing you'll notice is a wonderful, wonderful train set with what looks like the Flying Scotsman. And the best thing about this is you can make it move. You can also light the houses up, but for some reason, if I go back up here and switch the light off, they still glow, but they don't really give off any light. I think they could have done the same thing with the doll's house in the nursery. Let them give off a little bit of light, but they haven't. You'll see straight away that the Ouija board and summoning circle are still down here, right next to each other at the moment. And we have lots of things to interact with for the ghost to throw around. We have a fridge down here as well with a couple of beers in. Excellent. I'll grab them later. All the tours and everything are also, you can turn on and off. So down here we have this new looping spot, which you can see. But at first glance you may think it's not very good because you can't see the ghost or where it is. But if you look down, you can actually see underneath. So I don't think there's another instance in Phamsmophobia where there is a looping spot that you can spot child ghosts or crawlers. But this is quite a good addition in my opinion. So this, along with the kitchen, are the biggest changes of the rework. Now the addition of the looping spot down here means that this isn't a dead end anymore, so if you're chased down here by the ghost you can survive and escape without a smudge. And there is an addition of another hiding space just here as well. So if you're not a looper and you're a hider, you're covered here as well. So that's it for the basement. Let's move on to the next room. So as with the old Tanglewood, this leads to the utility room. But as with the rest of the rooms, you'll see that this is a lot bigger. There's more likelihood that the ghost will actually stay in here instead of roam, so freezing temperatures will be easier to get. There is also an eye in here, which makes a unique sound. So you know where the ghost is coming from. There's also an addition of a sink. But, excuse me, for some reason, it's not an interactable one. So I don't know if this is they've like overlooked this, or if it's intentional, but you can't get dirty water here. We do have an excellent little jingle on the washer, which if the ghost interacts with that, it's instant location for you. Yeah, the ghost can interact with this as well. So not much more to show in here. We'll head straight into the garage, I think. And here's the garage. As you see, they've swapped the car. We also have a location for the breaker, which has moved from that wall over here. The other breaker, which I forgot to show you, well, breaker location, is actually a really good change. Right at the bottom of the stairs, just there. So if you play with the breaker not shown on the map, it is an easy spot. So you can come straight in, open this door, look down there. If it's not there, you know it's in the garage. No longer you need to come all the way down round the wall that used to be here to see the breaker. So I do like that change. So we still have the hiding spots, the lockers. And here we also have the monkey paw. So I think that hiding spot is excellent next to the gloves. I don't know what I just wished for there, but we'll be careful. We have some more power tools in this place, so these are interactable as well. And we have the lawnmower, which is a unique sound, yet again. They've moved the bin from outside to the inside. And we have a child's bike as well. So that is another unique sound that you could listen out for. And we have the addition of a barbecue, or a grill if you prefer. Bit something else the ghost can interact with, along with this camping light, which, even though it shouldn't, it would trip the breaker if you put too many lights on. So that's the new Tanglewood. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. I am pleasantly surprised. There was a lot of uproar about the removal of the kitchen island, but they've more than made up for it with the dining table and the train model downstairs. So I have no complaints whatsoever. Hello. Just came to say goodbye. Yep, I have no complaints. All round good change, and I'm looking forward to them reworking Willow next. So if you enjoyed the video, like it. If you don't mind, give me a subscribe. It would really help me out to try and get a little community going here. And look out for my other videos as well. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.
Welcome back. I've got some jobs ready for you.